Hello, hello. Happy New Year. We'll give it a second for everything to get streaming. Don't mind my facial hair. I was on break and busy this morning and didn't get a chance to shave, but here we are, and I wanted to get started mostly on time. But yeah, let's make sure everything is streaming. Looks like we are good to go. Fantastic. So I want to officially welcome you to the first live Monday Music Motivation of 2025. Very exciting because it's a new year and it's been a few weeks since we've been here live on a live Monday Music Motivation. So I'm so excited to be here hanging out with everybody and getting you set up for success in this new year. What I wanted to talk about today was a little bit of a different kind of a New Year's resolution. I did last year, or maybe even 2 years ago now, a really in-depth kind of first of the year Monday Music Motivation, really going into sort of how to set a really actionable New Year's resolution. We talked about making your goals tangible, actionable, and easy to do. But I wanted to do something a little bit different, not your sort of traditional SMART goal, not your traditional kind of actionable goal. I'm a big fan of action. You know that I'm all about that. Like, we do that in our practice template every single week, is putting in what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, what actions you're going to take to reach those goals and those kinds of things. This is going to be a little bit different because I think when we're so into those kind of process-oriented things, we can sometimes lose sight of the bigger picture. And sometimes we get a little bogged down with things and feel like we're not really making progress, because when your goal is so specific and smart and tangible, where you're like, okay, I'm going to do this one little thing. Yes, there's great satisfaction in like, oh, I accomplished that one little thing. But sometimes those little things don't feel that rewarding. So what I want to do instead for this year is I want you to go for something crazy and ambitious, something that's way beyond your comfort zone. And be careful with it, because it can also make it be really disappointing, where you're like, oh, I wanted to do this really monumental thing and I didn't even come close to doing that, so I failed. I want you to set a goal that you're probably going to fail, and hopefully by going into it knowing you're going to fail, it won't feel bad when you don't make it. But what I want to do, and the kind of idea behind this and what I was thinking, is that if you set something so lofty and so big and so probably unachievable, but work like crazy, like you're going to be able to achieve it, I bet you'll make more progress than setting a very realistic, very tangible, very simple goal. So that's what I'm encouraging you to do for this kind of a little bit different kind of New Year's resolution in your playing. Let me know in the comments what your crazy lofty goal is. Maybe it's to play a certain piece, maybe the Mozart Concerto or the Copland Concerto or the Nielsen Concerto, something like that. Maybe it's to try and play like a certain player. Maybe you're a big Anat Cohen fan, or you want to play like Martin Frost. That's probably would be my kind of lofty goal, is to be able to play something like Martin Frost. And I'm thinking, even as I'm sort of brainstorming my own and thinking through my own, I might be to do something like the Klezmer Dances or something like that, and see if I can tackle a piece like that and sound even a fraction of as good as Martin Frost sounds playing it. So something like that could be your really lofty goal. And I'm already limiting myself by trying to sound like him. Maybe for me, make the goal to be able to play Klezmer Dances by the end of the year like Martin Frost plays it. That would be, for me, a really good example of this really big stretch goal that probably I won't be able to achieve, but if I work like crazy, it's going to make me a better player for it. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments below if you have anything like that and what you're going to be going for. And again, I really encourage you to go for it like crazy. Don't feel bad if you don't make it, but let's stretch ourselves a little bit this year and let's push a little bit further than we think is comfortable. So that's your resolution. I want to tell you about one other thing that might help you get towards that resolution. Over the break, I had a few weeks off and really enjoyed some time with family and some relaxing time. And I was also working a little bit and still am going to be working quite a bit in the next few weeks before I go back to my university teaching schedule and get all the private lessons going again. But what I did over the break so far is I completed a book that has a little bit been in the process over the past 6 months or so. It's called A Practice Manifesto, How to Be Efficient and Effective in the Practice Room. And it is now available for everybody to get. It's super affordable. It's just $2. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/practice manifesto. That link is in the description and check that out. It has my most up-to-date practice frameworks and talks through how to work on all of that. It's not super long. It's 30 pages, including all of the resources and references at the end. So it's not going to take you forever to get through. And that was part of the goal, is that you can just read it in one sitting, maybe 2 sittings, work through it, start implementing it right away. But it is a full book on my practice method and how to implement all kinds of different practicing strategies, of sort of a framework of how to practice, specific practice techniques to work on, and kind of when to apply them, and all kinds of good stuff like that. So check that out at quickstartclarinet.com/practice manifesto. And then last but not least, even though we're going for these big lofty dreams and kind of pursuing those as our resolution, we do still want to make sure that we're taking steps every week towards that big lofty goal. So we have our practice template, which you can see here. You can get this at quickstartclarinet.com/get started, or just recreate it for yourself. The date for the week, the reflection of how things are going, the goal for what you want to accomplish, and the plan for when you're going to make that happen. I haven't filled out mine yet, and I kind of wanted to talk through it a little bit so that it's a new year. It's a good time to refresh how to use the practice template, since we use that every single week. So like I said already, the date for the week, the reflection of how things are going. I don't have a super in-depth reflection because it's been mostly time off, but my reflection might be something like, I've been working on this concerto that I'm going to be playing in February. That's starting to come together. I'm excited about continuing to work on that, and I'm excited about sort of getting back into things with really good fundamentals after having a little bit of time off. Then set your goal is the next thing. This you could put in your really lofty sort of New Year's goal. So my goal might be, I want to start working on klezmer dances and be able to play it like Martin Frost by the end of the year. Or you can also do a smaller, more sort of weekly goal, in which case my goal would be to continue working on Twitch, really learn that, continue getting really comfortable with that for the concerto performance coming up. And then for the plan, in the last section, you put the specific days and times and what you're going to work on. So for example, I do Monday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to work on the first 2 pages of Twitch, or work on the cadenza of Twitch, or something like that. So that's the way that the practice template works. So go ahead and make that for yourself, or go to quickstartclarinet.com/get started, and you can download this exact PDF template from my free members area, along with a bunch of other good stuff, and fill that out. Put it in your calendar, set those times so that you commit to that practicing, so that you can make those small goals for this week, so you can start really in earnest working towards those big lofty dreams that you have for this year. And don't forget to leave a comment with what those big lofty dreams are, because I'm really excited to hear all of the creative things that you guys are going to come up with. And I'll probably reply and say, make it a little bit loftier. Don't hold yourself back. Really go crazy. Set yourself up for something that you're probably not going to be able to achieve, because that's kind of what I want you to try to do this year. And I want us to all really be stretching ourselves and really be pushing for something lofty, and then doing the nitty-gritty fundamental work to get there. So happy New Year's, everybody. Welcome back to the first Live Monday Music Motivation of this year, 2025. And I will see you next week on the next Live Monday Music Motivation. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Bye.